Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel, or welcome if this is the first video that you're watching. But today I'm going to mix things up a bit and I'm going to go over a designer that I haven't really featured in my videos yet. So this is the YSL Toy Loulou. I know I've been covering a lot of Chanel and Louis Vuitton lately, but as you can see probably on YouTube, YSL is gaining a lot more popularity. I think people are finally deciding to move over a bit after all the crazy price increases. But yeah, this is going to be a very detailed video. I'm going to be going over wear and tear. I've had this bag for about a year now. What fits, pros and cons, and just general, must know details, especially if you're going to be buying this bag. YSL has, come out with, I would say, like 3 different versions of this exact same bag in the last year and a half, 2 years or so. So you definitely want to keep an eye out for those details so that if you are buying the bag, you know exactly which one you're buying. So yeah, with all of that being said, please give this video a like. If you found it helpful, please subscribe to my channel to see, all of my other videos. And with all of that being said, let's go ahead and let's get started.
Before I got into the video, I did want to really quickly discuss that if you see a strap that is attached to the bag, it's actually a separate strap. As I mentioned later in the video, the strap that came with mine is a bit too long, but I will be doing a completely separate video on how to style this bag with different chains, different leather straps. So please stay subscribed if you want to see a video on all the different ways that you can wear the Toy Loulou.
Just to give some details about this bag is fully calfskin, a relatively smooth leather. This right here is made out of brass, and then in terms of dimensions, we have 7.8 right here, 5.5 right here, and then in terms of, side to side, we have 2.9 inches. Now I'm going to be going over the price. I have the exact receipt from when I purchased this bag. So I will caveat this by saying that I bought this in Hawaii. So if you're not from the US, Hawaii actually is cheaper to buy luxury goods in. It's called Hawaii pricing. It's cheaper than the mainland, the rest of the other states. And they do that to incentivize travelers, maybe from Asia, Europe, or other parts who are traveling to Hawaii. So that being said, when I bought this, the retail price of this bag, the YSL Toy Loulou, was $1,250. So since then, it's actually gone up to $1,590, and that's just the most basic combination. If you want the essentially like So Black, which is the black on black, it's about like 1,650, so right under $100 increase. In Hawaii, what I actually ended up paying was they had 20% off everything, so this bag actually was $1,000. So with taxes, which was also cheaper in Hawaii, I ended up paying $1,047, which I think is an amazing price for a full leather bag. I did also want to say that in case you are planning to travel to Hawaii anytime soon, Hawaii has definitely been hit hard by the pandemic. Their rules are a lot stricter than the rest of the states. So with that being said, they're not getting as much tourism. And actually, as of summer 2021, they've actually decreased that 20% promo to only 10% promo now. So I'm not sure if they're going to be bringing it back once travel kicks off, but that is one thing to note if you are planning to travel there to potentially, get a better price. That 20% is now reduced to 10%. So now let me give an overview of the bag. This is just the most basic combination, black leather with the gold logo right here. And then let me actually bring this closer so you can see. I don't know if you can tell, but it sort of is like an aged gold. So it naturally looks a bit tarnished, which actually might be a good thing because, it's not as susceptible to scratches or you won't see it as easily. But as you can see, after 1 year, it's still very, very puffy. And, the logo looks great. And then turning it on the back, in case you haven't seen this bag before, just very basic back that has their quilting that sort of looks like the Y, no back pocket. Let me go ahead and let's turn it around. So looking at the inside of the back, again, this was the early 2021 version. So there's one pocket right here. There's some card slots right here. As you can see, I actually still have those fake card slots in. And this is actually just a divider. You actually can't put anything in. So I'll try to see if I can find a picture. But the older version used to have essentially a little slot right here, and you could actually put stuff in. Then we have another pocket right here. And then we have a zipped pocket right here that you can go ahead, put other things in, and actually secure it and zip it up. And then it's just, that plain flap. And then we have the hardware right here, which has the YSL logo. So nothing too fancy, but overall definitely a very functional and I would say underrated bag. Now for general wear and tear, I went ahead and I took the strap off so that it's easier to actually see the bag. But one thing I will notice is try to buy this bag in person if you can, so you can look at it, because this, bag, even though it is pretty, scratch resistant, it can get, deflated pretty easily. I don't know if it's just certain batches they make or what it is, but I've seen some of them where I go into Nordstrom and they're literally on the floor, but they already look like they're 2 years old and super worn down. I would say mine overall is still super puffy and super shiny. I will say though that even though, I don't know if you can see, it sort of like naturally looks like this leather is a bit crinkly, so it might be harder to see scratches. The bottom of it is actually completely smooth. So this leather is actually really, prone to scratches, and you could actually see that right there. So this is where I would say like the only scratch on the bag. I think I got this from, I was hanging my, bag on a seat and then it sort of fell down, and I'm pretty sure that's what it is. Ironically, it's not a deep scratch, but it's really hard to get out. I've tried buffing it, and as you can see, like maybe from this angle, you can't even see that it's there. So it's really just like a lighting thing if you can even see or not. But I would say this is the part which is the most prone to scratches, and it sort of sucks because this doesn't have any feet. So if you're putting it down on anything, like gravel, rocks, or like a rougher table, you would definitely potentially get scratches from there. Other than that, everything else looks pretty good. I would say the other most common place to get scratches is probably this inner flap, but I actually don't have, any scratches right there. As you can see, it is pretty smooth. Sometimes you can see that crease, and this is just from, closing the bag. In terms of, let's say, any wear and tear to the hardware, I think it looks pretty good. Nothing is really tarnishing so far. So, overall, really no complaints with the wear and tear. However, I will also notice that the corner wear, on some corners, it is more obvious. So you probably can't see it on these two corners, but there is one corner, which is this one in particular. I don't know if you can see it, but it sort of does look like it is a little bit scratched off. I'm not really sure why it only happened to this one, but that is something that I did want to note. These corners can be sort of more pointy. So just be careful, especially if you're wearing this crossbody, that you're not just like banging it around so that, it's hitting other stuff. Now I'm going to go over all the different versions of this bag, and I would definitely pay attention to this because, especially if you're planning on purchasing this bag, you want to know which version you're buying. And even if you're going into the YSL store like I was, they might have different versions depending on, when the color came out, or, they might just have older stock coming in. So for example, when I was purchasing this bag, which is what I would say the second model, they still had, the first model in store. So, definitely be careful, know what you're buying, don't accidentally think that you're buying one bag, but then you actually go home and it's a completely different version. So I'm going to go over the features of this bag, and then I'm going to go over what changed, in the new and the old one, versus what I have. So now I'm going to go over my bag. I'm going to go ahead and call this the second version because there was one version before this and then, one version after this. So I'm going to call this the second version. I'm going to go over it. I'm going to show you, what is different. So from the outside, all three versions have the exact same, features. There's nothing that changed, no difference in hardware, no difference in terms of the leather or anything else. The main difference is this compartment. So as you can see, and as I briefly mentioned earlier, the first version actually this opened, versus now it's just a divider, let's say. So the first version has that sort of opening where you could put maybe, a card holder or something like that. Both my version and then the version after this, which is the newest one, do not have that. The next biggest thing, which may be, most important to you guys, is the strap. So this is my strap right here. As you can see, it's just pretty small. It's dainty, smooth leather, absolutely, non-adjustable. There's no holes, nothing like that. The first version was actually adjustable. It had multiple holes, and there was a wristlet option where you could essentially, break it apart and then have it only as a wristlet. Everybody was raving about how, you can adjust the bag and things like that. So I don't know why they got rid of it. However, what I will say, in the first bag, even though it is adjustable, the very shortest length, I think there were only 3 holes, was maybe 1 centimeter shorter than this. So when I was in store and they had the option of, this bag or, the version before, which was, a little bit older, I think people had touched it more. So, I was more inclined to go with this one, but I was really worried, oh, but that one has the adjustable strap. That one isn't, again, that adjustable. Even at the shortest length, it ends up being around the same as this one. What I heard is that certain YSLs will poke more holes in the straps for you so that you can adjust it to your own length. But that is one thing to note. If you're buying it on a resale website, try to see which year the bag was manufactured. So I would say like anything before 2021, you probably have that older adjustable strap version. So that is one thing to note. And I think, at the time when I was buying this, they didn't even tell me that, hey, heads up, we are actually coming out with a version that is adjustable, in a few months, or else I would have waited. But yeah, literally just a few months later, YSL re-brought back the adjustable strap, I think because people were complaining about it. And this time around, I think it has 6 to 7 holes. So it's a lot more friendly if you are on the shorter side. I think I saw somewhere that somebody who is 5'1", or even shorter, it fit them perfectly because there's much more holes to adjust. So that is one thing to note. When you are purchasing the bag, just keep an eye out for those features, and that'll tell you, essentially which version of the bag you are buying. So now let me show you what I might carry in this bag. To give you an idea of what fits inside. I know that some people hate the middle, barrier right here, but I actually like it because if I take something out, other stuff is less likely to move around. So first, I usually just have a pair of sunglasses that I put at the top, and it sort of fits very nicely in here. Then I have a hand sanitizer. So this hand sanitizer is maybe the size of your guys' lotions that you guys might put in here instead. I have a full spray size bottle of hand sanitizer. I don't carry both, but this is just to show you what could potentially fit. I have a full size wallet from YSL. So of course, if you used a card holder or you just put your card in the slots right there, you could obviously fit a lot more. I have a, sort of chopstick, which fits in here too. And then everybody's favorite question is, your phone. So my phone also very easily fits in here. And then here in the back pocket, there's actually some more space, and you'll actually see a piece of gum right there. I actually, in this back pocket right here, I'm able to put, extra masks and Band-Aids. So as you can see, this bag may look tiny, but it actually fits a lot, and definitely I would say your daily essentials. So in terms of buying this bag and saving money, I would say that it's still relatively easy to find a good deal for this bag. If you are willing to not buy it in store, of course, YSL will most likely never have this bag, on sale per se, unless it's an outlet or they have some colors that they are discontinuing. Sometimes it'll go online on the YSL website. But other than that, good options are, let's say, Saks Fifth Avenue, Bloomingdale's, those type of stores. They always have sort of promotions going on where, let's say you buy something over $1,000 and you can get $100 off or a $300 gift card for future use. Farfetch is still pretty popular. I think the 10% code still work on a lot of YSL bags. If you are in the US, some people have found that, on Farfetch, on like Selfridges, if you are maybe willing to purchase it and potentially pay some customs, the prices are actually lower. So I think I saw on Selfridges, I'll post a picture right here. It's actually around like definitely under $1,400. I would say more closer to $1,300. So I would say that there's definitely a lot of great options to buy this bag online. On the resale market, I would say they aren't that much lower than retail. So I would say just go for the new bag completely. I've seen these go on Fashion Follower, the real for like $1,500. And again, this fully new one is only $1,590. So I don't think it's risk, saving $50 to $100 to get a used bag. Now to go over some pros and cons, I would say the biggest pro for this bag is how versatile it is. It's very light. I love how you can change out the strap options, and I actually really like the compartments. It fits everything that I need. So yeah, I would say this is a great grab and go bag. Again, if you bring multiple straps, you can have it for evening, you can have it for casual. It's very easy to dress up and down because of the size. So overall, I think this is an amazing bag. The leather is so soft and super shining. I think the quality is definitely there. In terms of con, I would say the biggest thing is how often they've changed this bag with all the different straps and everything like that. So for me, the biggest con is that my strap is not adjustable, and that even though the new bag came out immediately after I bought it, the store didn't tell me, they weren't aware of it, or else I could have saved myself the hassle and just waited and it got in that bag. But other than that, again, you can change it for other straps, so I don't think that's that big of an issue. And again, I almost wish the bottom had feet, because even though, this, scratch isn't too visible in certain lights, it still does bother me that the bottom is completely smooth. I wish they had put some feet there or something like that. Something else is because of how they fold in this bag. As you can see, like it folds in here and then folds in here. So I think the corners protrude out a bit. So because of that, they could be more susceptible to corner wear as well. So I have been more careful when I'm wearing this bag and, trying not to take it out when I know I'm going to be walking around a busy crowd or maybe pushing against some things. So yeah, I'm just trying to be more aware of the corner wear now so that it doesn't get, too bad. I think one other pro of this bag is that YSL comes out with so many different colors. You know, they have so many different types of hardware options as well. They have gold hardware, silver hardware, you know, the all black hardware. They have blacks, whites, nudes, greens, reds, any color that you can think of. They're even coming out with tweeds now for this bag. So if you want a color and you want to maybe buy a smaller bag or maybe not spend thousands of dollars on a seasonal Chanel bag or something like that, I think the YSL Toy Loulou is a great way to experiment with colors. I also did want to touch on something else if you are planning on purchasing this bag, which is packaging. I know that so many people, including me, love packaging, but there is one thing to know where if you are buying it from YSL directly, you might not get the YSL packaging. So for example, you'll definitely get the bag, you know, of course, the dust bag that comes with this. You'll probably get this sort of booklet right here is, I guess, YSL's version of an authenticity booklet. I've heard some people don't get this when they purchase from sites like Farfetch, so that could be a possibility. You probably won't get this YSL box if you don't buy from the YSL store directly, and of course you also will not get the YSL bag that comes with this box. So yeah, that's just general packaging and some things to note if you do buy from another site. I guess don't be shocked or don't think you got a fake or something like that if it doesn't come with all this packaging, because this is packaging that usually comes with the YSL store. So yeah, that pretty much wraps up this video. Thank you so much for watching. Let me know if you have any questions about this bag, if you want me to compare it to anything. Yeah, happy to talk more about YSL or, you know, Hawaii discount shopping or anything like that. So yeah, with that being said, I'm going to go ahead and wrap up this video. Thank you so much for watching. Please like and subscribe and check out some of my other videos if you're interested. I just did a video on the Boosie, as well as some unboxings from Paris for Louis Vuitton and Chanel, including the discount savings there, VAT refund, all of that good stuff. So thank you so much for watching. Bye.